Shikimori-'s Not Just a Cutie has been one of the most disappointing anime of this season, and has honestly been pretty boring. Yeah, you could chop that up to it being a slice of life anime, but I wouldn't agree with that. Because there's a lot of good slice of life anime that are really good and they do something to make it stand out and not be boring. And Shikimori doesn't have anything to make it stand out as a really good anime. Especially when we're in a season filled with anime that does the exact same thing Shikimori does but better. Like anime like Kaguya-sama Love is War, Komi Can't Communicate, Aharen-san, a couple of cuckoos, and to a lesser degree you could say Love After World Domination, The Scientist Fell in Love. So I try to prove. So like, there's a lot of anime that literally does what Shikimori does, but it does it kind of better. So it's kind of like Shikimori's just falling like out of like the hype, especially because it was hyped up as being like the next big rom-com of this season, give or take, and it just hasn't really lived up to the hype in my opinion, because it's honestly died down and been a little bit boring in my opinion. And I've talked to a lot of different other people about it too, because like I even made a video on my TikTok talking about it, and people were even saying it was kind of boring. But I do like how this anime has the roles in reverse when it comes to relationships. I do like that because Shikimori wears the pants in a relationship, as you could say that she's the knight in shining armor, because she's always saving Izumi, because he's basically a damsel in distress, since you know he has that bad luck, so he always needs to be saved. But Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. It's been okay, but like I said, it's been disappointing. It hasn't really lived up to the hype, especially when we look at all these other anime like I was mentioning earlier. It just hasn't really been doing it for me, because each episode just feels like it's missing something. Like, it just feels like there's something missing. Like, I'm not sure if it's because the side characters are really not that interesting. Yeah, you have the two little fake-looking Bakugo characters that you have them being loud, and they're kind of like Bakugo type of characters, like the girl and the one guy. And then you have the one girl that always makes the smug face. She's okay. Maybe it's just because the main character, I kind of don't like Izumi mainly because I wish they would have explained his bad luck. If they just explained like why, if they would have done episode 1 like why he has bad luck, why like him and his mom have this type of bad luck, then it would make sense. Because after a while it just gets annoying. Like, I'm like, wow, he has this much bad luck. Like, it's a gag that just gets annoying after a while. I just don't really care. Like I said, it would have been cooler if they just like went into like why Shikimori just like has this crazy protective like way. I know like they kind of explain, but they kind of don't. Yeah, they did try to introduce another love interest that we saw that liked him, but the main character, he's just like bland. I know like technically the main character is probably Shikimori and not Izumi, because like we see all this stuff in Shikimori. I mean, the one thing I liked in the manga was just Shikimori made all these different cool faces, and like the shading looked really beautiful and all that, but in the anime they haven't done that. So I mean, this anime, it would have just got carried by the shading, and Shikimori, that's kind of gets carried by, is just her. But I mean, you have the new girl with the blue hair that kind of like came in and seems like a little bit better of a character than Shikimori. And like, Shikimori is really the only thing that carries this. If you're just watching, you're watching it for her. You're not watching it for the guy, because the guy is super bland. This man is always in the bad luck. Something always bad happens to him, and he's kind of just useless. He's kind of there. I have seen people talk about if we would have saw the relationship like build up from the beginning. I'm kind of like, I don't really care, because I mean, we saw like a little thing there about that too, and it just kind of just happened because like the main character was nice, and then she just talked to him and blah blah. They made it together, but it really hasn't been interesting because it's not really building up to anything at all. It's just like them doing random stuff, and like, yeah, that happens in slice of life anime. They do random stuff each episode, but most of the time there's something there that makes it interesting. Like whenever you go to any type of slice of life, you take something like K-On! Is because the cast is all wonderful and they're all funny and they do stuff like that. Where the Shikimori cast, like I said, gets boring. The only person that really is interesting, in my opinion, that can add some type of comic relief to this show is like the one, like she has like the yellow hair or whatever, and like she's kind of like the comic relief character, because sometimes she says funny stuff or just said something. That's the only character, but besides that, like I said, the rest of the cast is kind of weak. Like, they really don't provide nothing. Even what they do, like, throughout the school and what they do in each episode is kind of just, like, meh. Like, it hasn't been, like, nothing, like, interesting in my opinion. Because there's, like, I haven't seen, like, anything that just makes me, like, I need to watch this. Because, like, this comes on Saturdays when you have stuff like Spy Family coming on and a lot of other shows. And this one is just one I watch towards the end of the day because I'm not interested. And like I said, you have stuff like a couple of cuckoos that came on later in the season. That one literally is doing what this one is doing, but just a little bit different. And it's way more interesting. Like I said, Komi is, Kaguya. Like, this one is getting swept under the rug. I know when this was coming out, people were kind of comparing this as being like the next My Dress Up Darling, just as being like the one of this season that would like be popping and all that. Besides like stuff we knew like Spy Family and Kaguya and anything that got like a season 2. This was like one people were hyping up like when it came to the spring, and I thought it was gonna be good because like I said, I read the first 2 volumes and they were okay. It wasn't like a fantastic read, but I thought it'd be an okay anime to watch. But then as the season has gone along, it's just been one of these ones I'm just like watching, but I sometimes forget about, because I have had like 1 or 2 episodes I forgot about. Then I had to like catch up because I was behind. Because like it's a very forgettable anime in my opinion. Like it is. Like there's nothing special about it, but it's okay anime to watch right now. I'm not saying it's bad. Like it's not bad. It's just one of these ones that it didn't live up to the hype that we all thought, or majority of people thought that it would. Because I thought it was gonna at least be decent. I thought it was gonna at least have something to make me be like, yo, I need to mess with this, and me just think it would be like fantastic. But so far, it just hasn't really been that fantastic. It's just been a anime I just watched this season. It'll be one I'll probably forget about. Like that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be one of these anime I forget about, and maybe I'll talk about it years later if it gets another season or something like that. But as of right now, it's just one that's very forgettable from this season. Literally, after this season ends, nobody's going to talk about it. Nobody. Like, people are going to talk about Spy Family, Komi, Kaguya, and all the stuff like that, but they're not going to talk about this one, because there's so many other shows that just are better in the spring than this one, and it is disappointing, because I thought this one would at least, like, have some type of, like, hype around it. Meaning, like, I just thought people would be talking about it, like, as the weeks go on, but it just seems like more people are, like, getting out of this. People are dropping this. They're not interested. They're bored each episode. Like I said, I'm watching it, and, like, it's okay. I get maybe a smirk every once in a blue moon while I'm watching this. Like, most of the time, I'm not really that entertained when I'm watching it. Because, I mean, the most recent episode was kind of entertaining. Seeing, like, the one girl have the emotions and all that. Like, the different emotions because, like, she was sad for a certain reason. I don't want to spoil why. But it just hasn't really been nothing. I'm just like, yes, I need to watch this each week. I'm not really hyped about it. It just comes on, I watch it, and that's it. And I don't think about it, like, at all. I don't, because there's so many better spring 2022 anime that are out there that I'm watching, and this one is just like falling to the bottom of my list. Like, it's probably like, I would say in my opinion, it's one I'm not hyped about. And like I said, I'm watching about like 32 anime this season, and this one is at the bottom of the list. This is number 32 of what I'm not hyped about. Like, there's a lot of stuff I have above it that I enjoy each week more than this one. I don't even think about like what's going to happen in the next episode, because I just don't care. But yeah, let me know, how do you feel about Shikimori? Are you liking it? Are you getting bored of it? Did you drop it? Are you not enjoying it? Do you think I'm tripping and you think this shit is fire? Just let me know, because I'm curious. Like I said, I made a video on TikTok, and a lot of people were telling me how they got bored of this. There were a few people that are like, yeah, I like this, and we're just saying that and just saying like, oh, people have opinions. I know somebody said that when I was like, dog, I never said it was bad. But yeah, just let me know how you feel, because like I said, I've seen so many different opinions on that app, like as I would make that video, and I had like so many different comments, so I just wanted to make this video to see how people on YouTube like feel about it, because you know, both of the people on both of those platforms are different audiences, so I want to see how my YouTube platform feel about that, because like I said, I think it is kind of boring, because like I realized after I made a video, I was like, I'd never think about Shikimori each week, because I think it's about so many other anime, and I'm like, yo, what's going to happen next week? What's going to happen next episode? This is one I don't think about. And like I said, I've watched a lot of slice of life anime, but this one is honestly boring. Like, it's really nothing there that makes me just be like, yo, I need to watch this. And most of the time, I enjoy slice of life anime a lot, but like I said, most slice of life anime, they have something there. Like, the cast usually carries it, or the animation or something that makes it interesting. This one just isn't that interesting. But let me know how you feel, because I am curious how other people feel. If you're new, why not subscribe? If you enjoyed the video, why not subscribe? If you enjoyed, why not like? If you didn't, you could dislike. Subscribe if you really enjoyed. And if you do subscribe, just put it in the comments, and I'll pin your comment and just say, I subscribed, and I'll pin it. That other people, just let me know in the comments if you do. But yeah, Shikimori has been honestly boring and very disappointing in my opinion, and I'm probably never going to think about this anime once it finishes this season, because it's not really anything special in my opinion though. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!